It's been a couple weeks. Thought I would do a quick update on my dungeon crawl board game. I've been working on map tiles for the last couple weeks and also just procrastinating a lot. But primarily what I've been doing is adding decals. So I've been adding these skulls. I've been littering the tomb tiles with skulls. These dead ends are filled with skulls. I've been replacing empty chambers with things like flooded crypts, adding shackles to the dungeon tile for scenario 1. And I've also added more debris and cleaned up some of the debris on some of the other tiles. Did some cleanup on the Tunnels of Torment tiles and just continued to work on the shading. I've also been continuing to work on storage solutions, mainly for my own personal benefit. I don't think the game is going to ship with a storage solution, but I want to make one available on my website or on Board Game Geek. And this thing can basically be printed out on a single 8.5 by 11 letter size or A4 sheet of cardstock, and then with a few strategic folds, it becomes this little insert, and it just makes storing the game a little easier. Little place for dice. All the cards can fit here. And then I also purchased these little 3" by 3" baggies. You can get 100 of them for a couple bucks. And I think that's probably the easiest way to store this game. Basically just store each hero class's starting equipment in their own little baggie. So if you want to play the fighter, you just grab the red one and you're ready to go. And then I just put all the monster chits in a baggie, and then all the other chits, basically rare items, treasures, and environmental chits in another bag. So I don't know what kind of baggie options GameCrafter offers. I'll have to look into that. If they offer small bags like this, I will include them in the game. All right, so what's left to ship beta and get some beta testing going? Just a couple things really. I need to do a full read through of the rule book. Been putting this off just because I have iterated on the rule book so many times that the thought of going back into that InDesign document just fills me with dread, but it's just something I have to do. Like if I want to finish a big project, I have to get in there and do a bunch of work I don't want to do. And it's going to be tedious. Adventure book, it's authored. I just need to get it in design, format it, and then share it for feedback. I think that's going to take a couple days. And then I need to continue working on a box art, logo, and game name. This is something I've been doing for months. And then I need to do one iteration on the monster card backs. These are the newest components that have gotten the least amount of attention. The reason this stuff takes so long is because, there are 20 monster cards. Let's say I need a half an hour on each monster card just to clean it up, make sure the copy reads, make sure that the front of the monster card is consistent with the back of the monster card, and make sure that any rules that are embedded in the monster cards conform to the rules in the scenario book and rule book. If that takes a half hour for each monster card, that's 10 hours worth of work. Hopefully most of these monster card backs won't take more than 10 minutes, but you get my point. This stuff just really adds up. And now all these components are so intertwined with all the other components that if I update a single chit, I gotta be like, well, does that chit appear in the rule book? Because if so, I gotta update that chit in the rule book too. Obviously a production pipeline that's all data driven would be the optimal solution for this. But as a one-man studio, I could spend months building these tools to help me automate this stuff, but I'd rather just spend those months building my game. So I'm gonna push hard for the next week